Okay, we're standing in a cold field somewhere in Lancashire for an odd reason. And this is my new book, Travels into the Spanish Civil War. And in the book includes a number of different characters who are threaded into the narrative, including Quentin and Liz here. And Quentin, what's your father's connection to the Spanish Civil War?
My father's was Georges Kopp, and he came to the Spanish Civil War in the middle of the autumn. And by the time Orwell got to Spain, he'd been elected as a commandant and in charge of the group that in Pum that Orwell fought with. And he did well, and he had just been promoted to look after all the engineering for the government forces in that part of Spain, Catalonia and Aragon, when he was arrested by the NKVD.
Now, when you read Orwell's book, you believe that George Kopp dies, but that's not the case, is it? Or you get the impression he dies.
No, well, he didn't die, but he lost half his body weight, and for lack of water, he had had permanent damage to his kidneys. However, that didn't stop him, because he was very committed to fighting against fascism. And in the Second World War, beginning of the Second World War, he joined the French Foreign Legion, and he fought in the Battle of the Marne, and he was wounded because he distracted people to save colleagues from being killed. He was taken to a hospital near Paris, from which he escaped and got eventually to England. The last thing that George Orwell and Eileen had said, if you ever get to England, come to the family headquarters, which is 24 Crooms Hill, where Eric and Gwen are shocked to see live. Gwen was GP and Eric's a very distinguished surgeon. And he didn't rest on his laurels, and he came back into the war, having persuaded the government to let him go as a secret agent, organizing a network of people blowing things up.
He went to Spain in 1936 and fought with the International Brigade.
In Madrid, I believe, yeah.
I've never been able to track down exactly where he was. I'm hoping to one of these days. We went to Madrid to have a look at the battle scars that are still there to this day. And Almu thought that he probably wasn't in that particular group. So maybe I'll find out, maybe I won't. And at the end of the Spanish Civil War, he went across to Gers in France.
So he was interned at the...
So he was interned.
Where is that?
And he is, in fact, this man here. And we were lucky enough to go to Gers, where they have made it into a beautiful memorial museum with a map showing which nationality built which hut, because it was woodland when they arrived, so they had to cut the trees and build their own accommodation.
So it's interned by the French, we should say.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really for Pat.
After that, he ended up in England because he was unable to go back to what was then Czechoslovakia. And he met my mother on a train. After the war, they went to Czechoslovakia, where they remained until 1950, when we had to leave in a hurry because he had been involved with the resistance movement. And my mother, my sister and myself got back to England, and he unfortunately had been betrayed. They knew which station we were heading for, and he was arrested and first of all interrogated and then put to work in Yakimo,
The uranium mines.
the uranium mines. Having become unwell, he was a non-person, so he had no documents, couldn't leave the country, and spent almost 3 years living in the false bottom of a pit in a garage where friends hid him. They tried to smuggle him out, built into the back of a wardrobe, but he was too ill. They tried to walk him out dressed in a frogman's suit so the dogs couldn't track him, but he was too ill. And eventually, in 1956, there was a movement of international political prisoners, and he arrived in the UK.
So thank you. And so anyway, that's my book, and there's a lot more details there about that, about the evocative details about their lives, which are not actually in my book, but yeah, both of them were connected by anti-fascism and anti-Stalinism,
Indeed.
which is curious how you two came to get there. Okay.